Welcome back, aliens, and we have a live session here. And if you remember, one last week, I guess, or last month, I guess. So we have talked about this. You will be asking a question, and I will be answering your question in a live session on this channel. Now I know I wanted to go live at 9 or 9:30 p.m., but then that's fine, right? Time is not important. But today's topic is what recruiters expect from a fresher. Again, if you have such questions with you, maybe some other question, you can just post those questions on Facebook and just tag Ask Telusko. So hashtag Ask Telusko, okay? Or maybe Telusko will do. So if you have any question, let me know. So in this video, we'll talk about what recruiters expect from a fresher. Now, of course, right? If you when you join any when you join any IT course, maybe com science or BSc IT or engineering, you have this question, So after completing your course, you will be called as graduates. But then most of the people, they don't get job easily, right? In fact, as per the survey, only 20%, in fact, less than 20% people actually get a job which they want, right? Other people, they look for some other jobs or some other courses or some internships, right? The thing is, as a recruiter, now we have this, we have this mindset. You should be knowing everything before joining a company, or you should be knowing Java. You should be knowing all the frameworks in Java, or maybe you must be knowing machine learning. That's not the case, As a recruiter, we in a company especially, we have different domains, okay? We have different we have different works available. We have different type of projects we have, and then different level of people we need there. So example, if you have, let's say, if you have a development job, if you have a testing job, so different positions need different skill set. You cannot simply say, hey, you should be knowing Java, because not every field or every position will require Java, right? You cannot say we need a person who will be very good with SQL, because there are some certain posts where we don't need SQL. I mean, we need SQL, okay? You should be knowing basics of SQL, but we don't need a mastery in that. So what are skills which we need, okay? For doesn't matter which profile, which position you go for. So example, the first one is logical skills. See, as a recruiter, what I expect is the person which I'm hiring here should be very logical, okay? Not in terms of only programming, but in terms of general work. Okay, people should have common sense. In fact, if you have went to interviews, they ask you some common sense question as well, because common sense is not actually very common in nowadays. So thanks to all this new tools available. But then, so you should be good with logics and you should be good with common sense. Okay, so your brain should work faster. So I mean, there are people who are very talented, they are very intelligent, but they don't think fast. So people need, or recruiters need, that you should think fast. The next thing they need is, if you're applying for a development position or a developer position, you should be good with at least one language, okay? It can be C, C++, Java, Python, doesn't matter. You should be at least good with one language. Because see, if you join a company, even your company is not sure on which technology they will be working on. Because if today if one of the projects is working on Python, maybe next project will be working on Java. So you are not sure on which track you will be going to. But if you know one language, it is easier to learn other languages, because company will train you. Okay, so they have their training department. They will train you on those technologies, provided you know one language. In fact, if you really want to enhance yourself, you can upgrade yourself to different paradigm. Like we have OOPS, we have functional programming. So learn those things, that will be helpful. Then what is more important is, if you're applying for a development position, your this one, software development skill set. So when I say software development, is not about coding, okay? So people think, if you want to be a good programmer or good developer, you just need to learn programming. If you learn Python, your job is done. That's not the case. See, learning code and building a project are two different things. So what you have to do is, you have to you should know how to make a project. So starting with getting the requirements, because if that phase goes wrong, everything goes wrong, right? So how to get the requirement, how to design the application, how to code an application, how to test the application, how to deploy the application. Because I have seen a lot of people, they know all these things, except they don't know how to deploy things, So deployment is important, and the most important thing is, once you have done the project, is it maintainable? Okay, because see, there are some projects which are done, deployed, everything is done. The moment you say, hey, we have to make some changes, that becomes very difficult, right? So all these skills as well important. Is not just about coding step. Okay, coding is important, of course, but then knowing the overall software development skills is important. So that's one set. The next set is, doesn't matter which position you go for, there are two most important things, especially companies who are into product based scenarios. Like if you talk about Facebook, Google, or maybe any company who work with products. Their idea is, if you're working on softwares, of course you should be knowing data structures. So it doesn't matter which position you go for, there is a chance that they will ask you questions on data structures. Right, that's one thing you have to remember. Now, in data structures, also algorithms, how to how to sort an array, how to search for the element, all different stuff, right? And last one, but not the least, okay, this is very, very important. So the moment you enter in that room of the interview room, the first thing they will check is it's your language, okay? It's your communication, not just the way you say the words you use. It's also about the way you say it, the way you present yourself present yourself on that stage. Not exactly a stage, but then if you're standing in front of them, that is your stage. You have to put a mark there, right? So when you go there, you have to make sure that you are dressed well, you look good. Okay, I'm not saying you have to look handsome there or you have to look beautiful there. You just need to look good, okay, presentable. Then the way you talk, right? It's very important. Words are important, but the way you talk, you need to have that convincing power. I have seen a lot of developers, a lot of people, they are very good with technical skills. The place where they will go, what do you say? They will miss the opportunity is when they talk. Okay, so communication is important. So if you want to have if you want to get a good growth in the industry, make sure that you are good with communication. Practice every day. Okay, so stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself, or talk to your family, talk to your friends. But talk to them. Try to convince them what is your idea is. Make them sell your ideas, whatever you have. So that's very important. So as a recruiter, I will check for your logical skills. I will check for the technical skills like data structures and one programming language. In fact, in the first question itself, if they ask you, hey, tell me about yourself, you have to talk about yourself and also tell them what you're good at, so that the next question will be based on the things which you know. Because even they want to help you in this, because no one can judge you in those 5 minutes. So you have to tell about yourself as much as you can. It's like a ad of 5 minutes, okay? You have to promote yourself. You have to give your 100% there. So whatever you are, just expose yourself there, right? And the most important thing is communication. Try to improve your communication, okay? Because if you don't have communication skills, the chances are very less that you will get a job. Okay, so improve your communication. I'm not saying you have to be a master in communication, but remember this, you need to sell yourself. It can be in your own way. Don't try to copy anyone, because that doesn't work. But try to improve your communication. That's important. So if you have a question, what you should do to get a job, these are the things you have to work on, right? And there's one more important thing. Share this video with your friends. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because there are so many videos on the way. And do like it if you